Hey everyone, welcome to another Jeff the IT Guy video. Today we're going to be looking at creating a web scraper using Python, and we're going to scrape Indeed, right? And so you get to watch this video and hopefully learn something, and at the same time you get to look at my bright orange shirt and hope that your eyes do not bleed or that you go blind by watching this. And so in this video, like I said, we're going to create a web scraper using Python 3, and we're going to scrape Indeed. Starting out, you're going to want to make sure that you have three things installed. One, you're going to want to make sure you have Beautiful Soup installed, Beautiful Soup 4. To do that, you're just going to use pip 3 install Beautiful Soup 4. Okay. Maybe. Make sure you have that installed. Hold on, I gotta turn on my colors, my RGB, so I can see where my numbers are here, or my keyboard. So Beautiful Soup 4. All right, you also want to make sure that you have request installed. That's going to be pip 3 install request. And you're going to also want to make sure that you have MySQL installed. So pip 3 install, and you could say, MySQL connector. There's also MySQL connector-Python, which is the one I'm using. And so you'll do it like that. Once you've got all that installed, you can start by creating a Python document. And so you can either write it in the terminal if you want to, or you can use an IDE like we're going to, and we're going to use Visual Studio Code, which I showed you how to install on the last video, right? So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be fantastic. So now that we've got all that stuff set up, let's go ahead and let's get started coding. So inside of VS Code, I've got an empty file here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start our imports. And so we're going to import request, like so. We're also going to import Beautiful Soup. So it's from BS4, right? Import Beautiful Soup. Okay. And then we're also going to import MySQL. That's going to be import MySQL.connector. All right. So next thing we're going to do, and this is just going to prepare us for getting everything installed. I don't believe we installed MySQL yet, but we will. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to write this so that we can run it. We're going to output it to the console, and in the next video we'll install MySQL, and then we will look at taking the same code and putting it into a database and how we can query and get information from it. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to set up our URL. And so you're going to type URL and you're going to hit enter, and then you're going to give it a single quote. And then we're just going to use Indeed. And so we're going to search for software engineer in Miami, Florida. Okay, and we're just going to copy and paste the URL that we're given. Okay, and so we're just going to paste that into VS Code here. So this is our URL that we're going to scrape from. Next thing we want to do is we want to create our page variable, and it's going to be page is equal to request, right, .get. And so this is going to actually get the URL that we just pasted. All right, so we're going to do it just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to tell it what we're looking for, and this is going to be the soup. This is where we're going to get our HTML from. And so it's going to be soup is equal to Beautiful Soup, right? And then we're going to say page.content in here. And then it's going to be HTML parser. So we'll just say HTML-parser, right? There we go. So we've got our URL variable, our page variable, which is doing our GET request for the URL, and then our soup, which is telling it to parse the HTML. It's going to put it in the soup. So if you think about soup, it's all a bunch of things just mixed together, kind of like alphabet soup. All right, and so once we do that, then we're going to start looking at results. And so our results is going to be equal to, okay, soup.find And so this is how we find what's in the soup, right? So we're going to say soup.find, okay, underscore all, right? And so in here, we're going to pass along some parameters. And so we're going to look for a div. And the reason I know this is because I've already done this. And so I'll show you how we're done. And then you're going to say this is attributes is equal to, give it a curly brace, right? So we're going to give it a curly brace. And we're going to give it the class of this div, and that's data-tn-component. We're going to close that up. We're going to put in a full colon, and we're going to look for organic job, and this is going to be the name of that class. Okay. And so let's switch over back here and let's inspect it. So we'll scroll down here, we'll hit this. I don't know why it's got to be so tough on me, but it just has to. It never wants to work right. So we're going to inspect. Actually, yeah. So we'll just inspect it here. And we'll look for the top div. Or we can just find it. And so I'll show you where that's at. Okay, so here it is. Here is the div that we're looking for. This is the data-tn, and this has got the div class, right, of job search card and all this. And so if we open this up, we will see that there are titles and there's data in here. And so this is full of a bunch of other divs, right? And so it's got containers and classes and all these actions and things like that, right? So here it is. Here's really where we're going to get this data from. And so this is from the data-tn-component, and the name of it is organic job. So that's where we're getting that from, right? And so let's switch back over to our code, okay? And now, since we found the results, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to pull some data out of it. And so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use a for loop. And so we can say for, and we can just say like job underscore, we'll say data in whatever results, right? So that's our results. Then we'll give it a colon here. Don't forget your indentation. Indentation is extremely important in Python. So we'll say, let's just look for the company here. And so we'll say company is equal to, and we're going to say job. Maybe if I can type underscore data, okay, dot find. Okay. And what we're going to look for here is we're going to look for a span. So this is going to be a span tag. Okay. And then we're also going to add some attributes to it. So the attributes are equal to, do not forget your curly brace, and it is going to be class company. And so this is the class, we'll give it a colon, and we'll say company. And so that will complete that one. Well, let's say we want to get something else. But first what we need to do is we need to strip it, right? We want to strip some of the excess stuff away from it. And so what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll say company underscore final, right? We're going to say that right there is equal to company, not com, company.text.strip, which is going to strip it of all any nonsensical stuff. Okay, and so that's the company. Let's figure out what the job title is going to be. And so we'll just say job, right? And so this is going to be equal to job.data.find. It's probably going to be a span again, but it's actually not. It is not a span. It is a hyperlink. And so I'm doing this based upon some data that I wrote down on my other screen, which has the actual name of the tags. And we'll go back and look at it after we get this. And so this is going to be another data-tn element here. And so There we go. We'll enter that. We'll do our colon, right? And it's going to be job title. And I'm going to hopefully not forget that I'm supposed to use, forgot to put the tributes. Here we go. This will make it all better. And I'm going to go ahead and put double quotes for all of these real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and let's switch back over and let's see if we can find this. So let's see if we can find the class company. So we'll say class is equal to, it may not, company. Didn't find anything. Here we go. As you can see, is a span. Span class company, here it is. And so we found that, and that's what's going to give us this. And if we also look down here, we can see the, we'll be able to find the span for the job name as well. Let's see, job, sorry, I think it's under summary. There's a lot of stuff in this. It's under title. So here it is. Title. It's going to be in here, data TN. There it is. So here it is. So data TN elements equal to job title. And so we found the job title. We found span class company. Right. So let's go back here and let's strip this, not strop it. Don't know what I'm thinking. And so I'm going to call it job underscore final. If I can hit the right keys, and we'll just say, you know, it's going to be job dot text dot strip, right? And so we'll go ahead, boom, boom. So inside this for loop, this is what we're doing. You can do some other stuff in here. You know, we're going to be using this for loop again whenever we do the MySQL, and so this is pretty much all that you need, but what we're going to have it do is we're going to have it print. And so print, and we'll say company, right? And then we'll do print, and we'll say it's actually company final, job underscore final. And this will be company underscore final. All right, so here we've got this. This is pretty much all we need. We'll copy and paste this, and so just Control C. We'll go over to our 47 different terminal windows that we have going on here, because one's not enough. So we'll close that. We'll hit ls. We'll say like cd dot ls. Right, but we can just go back to home because that's how we roll. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to say sudo nano, and we'll call this scraper dot py. Okay, it's going to open it up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to paste this in there. So it's going to boom, paste it, and then we will save it. So there it is, we've created it, and so we're going to say Python 3, and then we're going to say scraper py. And so it's like, boom, invalid syntax. What? So let's open it up and see why we have some invalid syntax here. I'm sure there's been an error made. Right here it is. Okay. Now let's run it again. What? All this invalid syntax. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. It's right here. Let's try it now. Here we go. And it's going to say, so we had a little issue, but it's okay. It's okay. I found my syntax issue. Stack Overflow helped me. So let's see if it'll work now. There we go. Check it out. We've built our first web scraper. It only done one page though. That's a problem, right? Now there's a way around this. You can do, an easy, or the way that's not the best, but the easiest is you can add some attributes to the URL. And so if we look at this URL here, you will notice if I go to the next page, you will notice that it adds the start is equal to 10 here. Okay, and so you can actually add this in here. And so what we'll do is we'll say, you can say, and start, like so, is equal to, like so, close it off, and then we can add plus, like this, and we can do a string here. That's what this is going to do, string. And then we can say, we can create a variable called number. And so this number will start out at 0, and we'll just put it above here. And we'll say number is equal to 0, like so. Not O, but 0. Okay, and so what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to iterate through it. And the only thing that we need to do is we just need to go inside of the loop here, and we can say number, and then we can just iterate through it, which is number plus 10. And so if we close it up and save it and run it again, we should get a lot more results. However, it did not work. So, which is fine. You actually need to do a while loop. So it's okay. It's all good. But you can put this inside of a while loop. And so to show you what that's going to look like, because you can't just do it like that. We'll say while, we'll put us a while in here. And so we'll say while, we'll say number, I don't know, we'll say less than 350, right? Now this is where it's going to get real wonky, is that we've got to indent everything even further. Now, it's just how it rolls here. Okay. So we'll get all of our indentation taken care of, except for this. Okay. We'll hit boom, boom. Now let's run it and see if it works for us. Yeah, I know. Indentation. It's dumb, isn't it? It should work like that. It does not match, it says. Of course it doesn't. But it should, because it does. It does match. Oh. I don't know why you gotta do this to me, Python. I was once an aspiring forget that. Crap. I'm pretty sure I just deleted it. But anywho, Yeah, I want to continue. Thanks. So here we are. You know, it should be that these the number here is on the same level as the loop, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll save it here. Let's try and run it again. Let's see if it wants to be ended in some more. Let's just end it there. Inconsistent use of tabs. See, this is the worst part about. Oh, let's try it. I mean, it's gotta be perfect, you know. It's gotta be the perfect little indentation. Inconsistent, yeah, I know. Life sucks, doesn't it? Because it should be right there. Tell you what we're going to do. We've made some changes, so we will just put this in VS Code. So we'll just, there we go. Let's get rid of this. Let's go up here. I mean, it's literally got to be before everything, pretty much. It's got to be before this. Have to indent that, indent that, indent that. Okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. So let's say while number is less than 350. I'm just throwing 350 in there for the funds of it. Right, so this is why having an IDE is the best way to do this, is because you can get your indentation levels right. Otherwise, you're trying to do it inside of Vim, and it's not the funds. Okay, so let's see here. Get our indentation. Alright, and it should be right there. Okay. That's already looking a lot better. Let's copy this and let's switch back over. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove this. So we're going to say sudo remove scraper.py. And now it's gone. And so now we'll say sudo nano scraper.py. And there's nothing there. We'll hit paste. Control X, yes, blah. And then we will run it. And then it's going to say, hey, you jacked up, kid. You done messed up. I deleted some of my stuff. All right, so right here, we're going to say is equal to plus string number. Control X that bad boy. Here we go. Boom. So there we go. We've got all of it now. And now, so it's going to scrape. It's going to scrape the name and the company. Right. That's going to go for a while. So it's going to scrape everything up until that number hits 350, however many pages there are. And so for it to be 350, that means that there has to be 35 pages because there's 10 results per page, right? And so if we go back and we look at this, you can make it smaller, of course. You can also make it larger. Now this is the quick and dirty way to get a lot of results. you can actually have Python read and see and parse and see how many pages there are, and dynamically change the URL to match that. And that's the best way to do it. However, if you don't have a whole lot of time, this also works with a little bit of use of a while loop and some number iteration, using a number to, you know, control your while loop. And so here you go. And so you could actually go in here and you could, you know, instead of it saying print company final, you know, you could go in here and say, you know, that you want the company, right? So you can add a little bit of formatting to it, and say job title. And now it's going to look a little bit cleaner. We're going to go ahead and we'll just take away this 350 because I don't want it to run for so long. We'll say we'll just have it run for 30, which is 3 pages, and we can do. Oh my gosh, you hate me, don't you? Don't you, Python? Here we go. There you go. And so now it's a little bit formatted. It's easier to read. And so you can see the company, the job title. You can also do salary, location. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. I hope y'all have enjoyed this and you've learned how to build a web scraper. Go out there and get scraping. Have some fun with it. If you want to stay continued to the things that we're going to do here on the channel using Raspberry Pi and potentially more scraping, you know, different things like RetroPie, we might set it up to do a Wi-Fi extender. We could also set up the Pi to be network storage. Looking into doing some really cool things with the Raspberry Pi. There's other items on my channel as well. You know, we've got some builds, we've got some career advice. There's a little bit of something for everybody. And so also, if you want to get a hold of this, this is the CanaKit 4 GB, and there is a link below that you can go to Amazon and buy it. It's $99.99. Using the link below helps me. It is an affiliate link, and so it does help keep the channel running and allows me to get new goodies that I can then share with you all. And so also, if you do, like I said, like it, leave a like, subscribe, tell all your buddies, and then leave a comment. I really enjoy talking to everyone on my videos. I always reply to my comments. Had some pretty good conversations going with some of the people who have commented. It's really awesome to see what you all are doing with your Raspberry Pi and the things that you would like to see me do. Also coming up, we're going to be looking at a Mac Mini 2012 that I purchased off of eBay, and so we're going to look at it and see how it compares for today's standards. Also, the Mac Mini got it and upgraded it, and so we're going to look and see how it does for programming, as well as some video editing and things like that, and if it is a good value for those who want to get into the Mac ecosystem but not spend a whole lot of dime. So, that being said, I hope you all have a great day, and stay tuned for some more builds, guides, career advice, and all things IT.